I see you're sat down again.
Yeah, I'm tired.
What's happened?
Well, what is that? We've had a major incident here at Torquay, look.
What?
Just had a delivery.
Right.
And I've noticed on it, look, Paul Hendriksen Tour. This has got to be his new wedges.
Oh, they've come here.
Should we have a little look?
I thought they were going to his house.
So did I, but
go on.
Should we have a little look?
Get in there. Get in there.
Yeah. Oh, look at these.
Oh, that's a brand spanking 46.
Nice, look. Oh, look at the shaft sticker. Tour issue.
That excites you, doesn't
it? That does.
It does excite
We can make
you.
some money off eBay on these, can we? Should we put them straight on?
What else have you got in there?
Oh, little 52 as well. Oh,
what have you
hello.
there?
Oh,
what's that? Oh, that is what?
Prototype.
Oh,
you like that? That's nice.
My word. What's that then? It's a 58L. Right, he's going to be here shortly. Why don't you have a little go and then we'll get him boxed up before he gets back?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, how's that feeling?
Oh,
how is that feeling?
Beautiful, look.
Right out the middle.
Look at that, look right on the bottom.
Oh yeah, bottom groove. Bottom groove.
He won't use that groove anyway, will he? He'll be in the middle, so I'll just use the bottom ones.
No way, you just keep thinning them,
grips are nice as well, aren't they?
How does the shaft feel?
Good, yeah, really nice. Okay.
Cool, you do get excited about a good tour shaft, don't you? Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Right, you better get them boxed up because he is coming. He sent me a quick text.
Is he?
Alright, yeah.
Morning, Barnsey. How we doing?
Morning, worst stag doing.
I heard, heard my cousin
We
Wedges.
have got,
Look at that.
Look at those. Not opened them yet either.
You not opened them?
No, just come in, but it's got your name on it, so we never touch things with your name on it.
They haven't packaged this very well, have they? Look at it.
What you got, Paul?
Look at that. They've got some wear marks on here already.
Hi guys, Dan Hendriksen here. We are carrying on this journey with Paul where we're heading to the English Open later on in a few weeks' time now up at the Forest of Arden. And Paul's had a delivery of some new wedges straight off the tour van from Titleist. So I thought I'd bring Paul up to Torquay today to go through some of the numbers with him, take him onto the short game area and then sort of share with you what the process he would go through to sort of start to gap those wedges into his current set. Let's have a little catch up with Paul and his new wedges. Right, new wedges have arrived, Paul.
Yes.
Straight off the van.
Yeah.
Always nice, isn't it, when you open up a box and it says Paul Hendriksen Tour.
Oh.
Straight out the van.
This.
So Will has put these together for you off the van. So
yep.
He's the wedge specialist,
yep.
and hopefully at some stage, well, hopefully you'll get to see him and meet up with him.
Yep.
And I've met him a couple of times, and it'll be great to catch up with him at some stage. Maybe get him on the channel as well.
Yep.
But you've gone for some, a slightly different spec. Is that right for this setup?
No, similar spec. I'm
yeah.
trying to match them up as much as I can, but what you'll find is that the new SM8s are slightly different in some of the lofts than what they had before. So
yeah.
I've gone for a 46, which is similar to what I've got.
Yeah.
I've gone for a 52,
yes.
which is actually a similar spec to what I've got, but I've got a 54, which is bent to a 52.
Okay.
So that's probably what's confusing things.
Yeah.
Also I've got a 58 L grind, which is a 4-degree bounce. So I like the low bounce.
Yeah.
And this one this isn't their current line anymore because there wasn't much demand for them.
Yeah.
But they still make them on the tour van. So this one here is a prototype Wedgeworks 58 4-degree bounce L.
This is the one that Lester has got himself really quite excited about.
Yeah.
Very excited about, because obviously, we deal with wedges quite a lot in the shop, but when we see something like this, it's quite exciting, it's quite new, it's just different.
Yeah.
And I think it's just great that the tour van is still able to offer that as a wedge.
Yeah, I did try with the 60.
Yeah.
But I find that's got a bit too much loft for me, so it was okay around the really short shots on the green, but any sort of pitching and stuff, I sort of seem to lose the strike with the 60 than what I do with the 58, so I've kept with that.
So what are we going to try and do today? What do you want to get from this session up here with the GC Quad? What are you trying to get out of it? Because ultimately you enjoyed your wedges. You don't really, you're liking the way they're performing for you.
Yeah.
But obviously fresh grooves is always good.
Yeah.
So what are we going to try and get from this?
Okay, so what I always do when I get a new set of wedges or any new clubs is I try and match them up with what I've got before. So I was happy with the wedge setup I got, happy with the lofts. They're all slightly tweaked and different lies, different lofts, and probably what they say.
Yeah.
So what the aim of this today is to try and match up the new wedges exactly with these, and we'll do that firstly from measuring the distances they go, and then we'll double check all the lofts afterwards just to make sure we're in the right ballpark with everything.
Now you did say in a previous video that you wouldn't let Lester touch your wedges, didn't you, or clubs? But he's going to have a go today.
Is he?
He's going to test them for you. He's going to put them in our little device up there, and he's going to check the lofts and lies for you. All right. So we'll come to that a little bit later.
Yeah, I'm not that happy about that. But...
Well, watch him. He's really good. Yeah. Really good. Yeah. So we'll come inside first. We'll stay in here first. We'll get some numbers from the quad. Yeah. And then we're going to take them out onto the short game area as well, and just get a bit of an idea on how you feel that they're performing out there around the actual green.
Sounds good.
Interesting numbers with the 46 degree. This is what I love about fitting with good players, is we only need 3 shots from each club because you've nutted all 3 of them perfectly. But do you see a slight problem?
I can see that the new one's going a little bit further, and I think looking at the data, there's definitely differences in the spin rates.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be quite important we get a good check of the lofts on them, because my one could well be more lofted. My old one could be more lofted than what the new one is. So
I can pretty much guarantee you that it is, because if you look here, your ball speed with yours is 98.6, but the ball speed with the new one is 100 mile an hour off the club face. Yeah. Which is telling me that there's definitely a degree change in loft. So the more you take off a club, obviously you're going to generate a little bit more ball speed. Yeah. Your spin though, this is interesting. Look. So 9.4 in your spin with your current wedge, and then 8.6. So there's obviously quite a big change in spin numbers there. Yep. And then ultimately 126, 126, 125 with your own, and then 131, 129, and 132 with the new one. Yeah. So it doesn't match in, does it?
No, we've got to get those changed.
We've got to get that right,
because that's the yardage I want. 126, 127 is what I usually budget for in my pitching wedge.
So obviously you've tweaked around with that wedge, your current wedge, quite a bit, haven't you? So even though it says 46 on the bottom of that wedge, what is it?
We'll find out in a minute.
Yeah, we're going to get Barnesy on the case of that.
I'd probably suggest it's probably nearer 48, 47, 48.
I would be. Yeah. I would be interested. Let's give it to Lester. We'll hit some more. We'll give it to Lester. We'll get him to bend it.
Really?
And put it into position, and then we'll get you to hit some more shots with the bent position.
Okay.
All right?
Sounds good.
Right, Bernie, we've got a slight incident. Okay. This says it's a 46 degree wedge. This is the ordered in 46 degree wedge. However, this one is actually probably 48. And we need to bend this to 48, okay, because he's hitting this a little bit too far. So can you just measure out what that is, and then we'll bend that one to match him with what that one is there. No okay, leave that with you?
Yeah, leave that with me.
I'll just head back down. Okay. Right, so we've had the club obviously bent into position, and the numbers, even though we're jumping around a little bit, Paul's just getting a little bit warm with his shots here, but now I think we're nearly there, because ultimately we've got the launch pretty much about the same. So you were 24.8, you've got up to 25. The yardage is 26 yards. We do need to have a little look at the lie of the club, because it was a little bit noticeably left, wasn't it? Yeah. On some of the shots. So even though we've bent the club to 48, we need to now probably flatten it down. Can you remember getting your wedges flattened at all?
Yeah, I did flatten them off quite a lot.
Did you?
I've always found that they go left.
Okay. So having them slightly flatter, I think we'll have to get that in the vice as well with Lester, and have a little go at that. But flatten them off would be quite a good thing. But all in all, we're pretty much there. You've actually gained, which is what I would expect, you got 9,400 revs with your old wedge. Yeah. And then at the top there, you've got 9,800 with the new SM8, which is only 400 revs. And that's probably about right, isn't it?
The new grooves.
New grooves, 400, but you're not a big fan of having too much spin, are you? If I remember rightly, when we were at Wentworth, you didn't want that wedge that they tried to get you into before.
Yeah.
It was a little bit spinny on the range at Wentworth, wasn't it?
It was, but in hindsight, because the greens were so firm at Wentworth,
there.
I probably should have put it in the bag. But the normal courses we play, I don't want my wedge spinning too much.
No.
Maybe out the rough I would, but if you're out the fairway, you don't want it coming back on you too much.
No, okay. So that's just something you need to just keep an eye on. But I think the more wedge shots that you hit, I mean, these are fresh out of the box, even though Lester's hit it a couple of times, but fresh out of the box, it's just spinning 400 revs more, and I think by the time you've hit a few shots and got it sort of, worn it out a little bit, because you do like to practice, it will just bring that down a little bit. But that's pretty much, we're nearly there, aren't we, with that one?
I'm quite happy with that. Just flatten it off.
Flatten it off, and then you're right there. Right, so we've hit a couple of shots now, 52.
Yeah.
Got yourself into a bit of a pickle again, haven't you? Right, let's look at the numbers of what you've got down there. So this is the current 52 degree wedge.
Yeah.
Spin that round. So you're getting 90 mile an hour ball speed off the face.
Yeah.
You're spinning it at 10,757 revs, and it's going 109, which is pretty much spot on for what you want with that wedge, isn't it?
Yeah.
However, you've ordered yourself a 52.
Yeah.
Your ball speed has now gone up by 4 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Your spin has reduced down by nearly 1,000 revs, Paul.
Yeah. Spotted.
Yeah. And you're carrying it 117 yards.
Yeah.
Incorrect.
A little bit too far, that one.
Okay, now take yourself back.
Yeah.
Can you remember playing around with your 52 degree wedge when you were doing your yardages?
I must have, yeah.
Yeah. So we've been bending, in that little, your workshop, your bending workshop must be busy.
Bit like Beckham. Bending it like Beckham.
So basically what's happened is you've created another wedge. Again, this is just you messing about with wedges, trying to get your numbers right. You're not necessarily too bothered about what it says on the bottom.
Yeah.
But you've basically, what you've done, Paul, is you've bent that 52 to 54.
Yes. Yeah.
Well ordered.
Yeah.
Right, let's go and see Lester. Let's get him to bend it to 54, and then let's get the numbers from that. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, we bend them, are we?
Are you any good at bending them?
Yeah. I make loads of marks on them as well.
Do you?
Yeah. It's the equipment we're dealing with.
All right? All good? How are we looking?
All done. That is actually 54, so that was all correct. So the lofts are perfect, although there is a slight issue with lie angle.
Okay, so the new one probably should be a little bit more upright than the older one.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll look at that in a minute, all right? Worn you out again, haven't we?
It's getting hotter.
The good thing again, though, is you are managing only to hit 3 shots, and then you've pretty much got your numbers. So what are we doing now? We've got the bent club to 54 at the top now.
Yeah.
90 mile an hour off the club head speed or ball speed with your own club, and now 90.2, so spot on there. Launching them pretty much the same, 27, 27.6 and 27.3.
Yeah.
Spin, 10,757 spin to now 10,915.
Yeah.
Which is about right. That's 150 revs, let's say 200 revs difference between the two wedges, which fresh grooves, we've talked about that already on your other wedge, so you're going to get a little bit more out of it. And now you're getting a yardage of 110 compared to 109. So you've basically found the right wedge again.
Yeah.
Cool, he's good at his job, isn't he?
Thanks, Lester.
He's good at his bending of wedges. However, you've got, and there will be a little pickup here, which is something you need to have a little look at moving forward, which is obviously the lie of the club. So we've bent the loft to the right position, but again, you're saying you can feel it off the face, can't you? It kind of feels like it's going to go left on you a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
So you just need to flatten those clubs down.
Just going to flatten them a little bit, and that should bring us back to
work out quite nicely for you. Right, last wedge, 58.
Yeah, let's do it.
Tell me we've got this one right, please, because I don't think Lester would want to put this one in the vice.
Yeah, I don't want to get rid of this one either.
No, that's a special one. Right, what have you got here now then? So your wedge, your current is 80 mile an hour off the club face compared to 80 mile an hour off, or 81. So pretty much exactly the same. Launching it exactly the same, 29.6 to 29.7. Spin, my word, within a few revs of each other. Peak height's the same, carry the same. Only difference that I see again is that lie, because you've got that going a fraction left compared to what you've got your current wedge going. Again, if you keep the consistency throughout the bag, you've probably got your other wedges bent flatter, so that one's going to need to go down a fraction with, you know, flattening out for you.
It's not too bad. It's 2.3 yards left.
Yeah.
So, but I think if we maybe move that a degree or half a degree flatter, I think we'll get that neutraled out.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty good, that one.
We've had a little tweak around. We managed to get there in the end, but this is the importance, isn't it, of going through this process. So we've just come outside. Going to hit some shots around the green, just flick some balls around like you're doing now. What's kind of your objective coming out here now? Obviously you've got your numbers inside, but what are you trying to achieve from this little setup?
This is more of a feel exercise, just trying to get used to the new. Obviously there's slightly different designs, etc, so they're going to perform slightly differently, I would have thought, than my old ones.
Okay.
So the idea is to come out here, have a go with it on the grass with proper Pro Vs, and just seeing how it's reacting. The grooves are going to be new, so it's going to give you a different sort of grab as it's landing on the green. Okay. So just trying to get a bit of a feel, really, more than anything. So you tend to like to open the club face up and close it down. You're always manipulating the face. Ever since I've played golf from the beginning, you've always messed about with the wedges and the faces and things like that. So obviously out here, you're going to also have a feel of what the turf interaction's like, aren't you? Because that's probably quite an important part for someone like you that practices a lot. You can tell the difference pretty quickly. Yeah. I always like to have a low bounce because I play a lot of the shots with an open face. Yeah. So if I had too much bounce, it's going to bounce too much with the face open. Yeah. So I always have a low bounce. So I'm just going to get a feel for the new bounce on this club to just make sure it's similar to the one I've got as well with the grass. Okay, let's hit a few shots. Okay. So just on the pitching side of things, just coming into the green there with that 58, you felt that interaction with the ground and how it was performing is pretty good? Yeah. Seeing any difference in the flight, height or anything like that? No, not necessarily. I used to remember that my old one, I used to fear a little bit of a pop shot. Yeah. Apparently they've changed the centre of gravity in the new SM8. So they have, yeah. I've noticed that in mine. Have you? Yeah, really, really good. So I felt like I had a lot more confidence hitting it into the green and it's not going to pop up on me and open in the face, and it won't sort of pop and come out dead. So they seem to be consistently flying in really well. So that's a good positive straight away. Yeah, okay. And now we're in the bunker then. Yeah. What again, 58 degree wedge are used all the time pretty much from bunkers, isn't it? I do. Yeah. Obviously it depends on the distance really for me. The shorter ones I'm using 58. Yeah. The longer ones I'm going to start using 52. Yeah. You know, it depends, and also depending on how much carry and run you want to have on the shot as well. All right. Well, let's have a few hits in here and get a feel for them in here as well then. Yep. And are you a big spinner out of the bunker? Are you someone that generates a lot of spin? I know you messed about with technique over the years, but is it something you tend to sort of let it release out towards the hole more? I do. I'm not the best bunker player in the world, I've got to be honest. So my bunker shots tend to come out with a bit more roll than the top guys. Yeah. So I kind of play for that roll. I mean, I can spin it if I need to, but it's not something I'm good at. So it's taking a bit of a risk trying to play that shot all the time. So. Moving on closer to the green then, 46 degree wedge. Yeah. Or should we say now bent to 48? Yeah. So this is a club you use a lot around the greens, isn't it? You tend to chip a lot with this club. Yeah. What are you kind of looking for out of this particular setup now? Well, The reason I go for a pitching wedge in the Vokey is because it gives me a lot more control on these shots.
Okay.
It just feels much better off the club face than the.
You've always talked about that
standard.
the other set wedge comes out a bit springy off the face, a bit hotter.
I think it does, yeah.
So you feel like this is being slightly deader feel off the face, maybe. I know that's probably a bad word to use, but slightly softer off the face.
Feels softer, a little bit more in control.
Yeah.
Certainly on the chip shots, and it just tends to work a lot better than the normal wedge.
Well, let's have a little go with that then. Lots of bump and runs with this particular club, isn't it? Sort of get it running along the ground.
Absolutely.
And what sort of grip are you using? I just noticed that you've got a slightly different grip.
I use a putting grip.
Yeah, same as me.
Yeah, anything under sort of 30 yards, I'm using a putting grip with.
Are you?
Yeah.
Stands the club up nice and tall, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Gets the club upright a little bit more. You're almost feeling like you got the heel off the ground a fraction.
Yeah, I try to do that.
Yeah.
Also, I think it just takes all the wrists out of the shot. And you don't need wrists for chip shots.
Yeah. Happy with that? Not getting too much grab out of that club, because that's obviously a slight concern. Is getting fresh clubs, you can get fresh grooves. It can start to check on you a bit too much.
Yeah, you won't tend to get much check with these shots, the chip and runs.
Yeah. So all in all, happy with the wedges, how they're performing so far? Got the yardages right. Starting to feel okay out here. Happy with that.
Yardages are good. Feels really good. The new ones, like in the SM8s.
Yeah.
Just a case now of getting out on the golf course with them and trying them in sort of practice out on the course.
Yeah.
Just pleased really to come through with Leicester not breaking any.
Yeah, he's done well there, hasn't he? In fact, I think he's gone up in your estimations a little bit, hasn't he, when it comes to his club repairs and things?
Yeah, he's still on trial. But he's done all right. He's three attempts at clubs, and they're all in one piece. So that's good.
So last little bit is just to flatten those clubs off to get them bang on to what you want. You can take that home and do that, and hopefully they will now start performing how you want them to perform.
Fingers crossed.
So there you go. There's Paul's little sort of check-up with his new wedges. Interesting how obviously he has ordered the wedges in, and even though they're coming off the tour van, it comes down to what he wants. So he's always going to start playing around with his wedges from there. And I think it's important that yourselves, you do the same. You know, when these wedges come through, it's not necessarily that the order's incorrect. It just means that you've got to start to gap those wedges into your current set as best you possibly can once they arrive. A few different ways in which you can do that, and obviously we've been through that today, taking it inside. You could even go to the practice ground yourself and do that with just manually hitting golf balls and getting some yardages as you pace them out, and then bring around the short game area. You know, get some shots around the green, get some bunker shots, get playing those wedges, and just get an idea on how they're performing for you. Let me know, put your comments down below. What did you think of that? We're on the road to the English Open. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. As always, stay safe, catch up with you again soon.